All right, so I'm here. Let me make some adjustments, get my camera straightened up. All right, get in position. So the camera's off. All right, so now I'm in position and using a newer camera. I don't want to do that. What am I can zoom in if needed. Tilt down a little bit. All right, now I'm not using the green screen, no type of chroma key effects or nothing like that tonight. This is just straight. This is just straight unfiltered. So let me get ready to do a countdown because everything before this will be out of the main edit. When I get ready to go to editing, take all this shit out. Share. Make sure my lighting is good, not too bright. All right, countdown. 5, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Atlanta DJ Zone Tech Tuesday Live. You're here with the kid. This is a podcast show that I do based on DJ tech that I do. Well, not every week, but whatever Tuesdays that I'm available to do it. Usually at 9:30, but now kids got me on a schedule with their extra activities. I bumped it up to 10 o'clock. The only reason I did it to 10 o'clock tonight was I needed the extra time to set up here in the studio. Now, usually I broadcast in Studio 2. Studio 2 is the room on the other side of the camera. That's my DJ production, um, cipher room, practice room, whatever, mentoring, teaching, whatever. That's where I do all my DJ stuff. All the DJ stuff is done in that room. This room right here, which it's a room that I never used since we've been in this house. When we moved into the house, I just the stuff that I brought over from the old house. It was put up. It wasn't set up. Nothing wasn't connected or anything. So it was just sitting here, and then I started to accumulate and get more stuff. So now, after 6 years, to the point now, I need to get back to doing recording, production, and so forth. So now I've been spending the past couple weeks. I think I started maybe before Thanksgiving or whatever, straightening this room up, getting this room ready to use, and I still got a lot of stuff to do. So now I'm doing my live stream from this room, and I may toggle back and forth over time between rooms. I may use the Studio 2 because I already have my backdrop, my chroma key backdrop already in place. And as you can see here behind me, I don't have one set, but I do have it right here awaiting to be hung. So the next time, most likely the next time that I broadcast in this area, I will have some type of chroma key backup, and hopefully I'll probably have a wider shot. Right now, I'm in front of station number 2, or the main station, which this room, I have it set up. The way that I have it set up is I have a station based on whatever use that I need to do. Over here to my right or your left, this is the audio station. Over here at this station, I have Pro Tools, Adobe Audition, what else? Ableton Live. This is where I do audio stuff. I do pre-production, production. I produce beats. I have my drum machine, my old machine, MK1 that I use, and then I have a couple other little drum machines. I have a Boss DR5 and so forth. Sometimes I use the keyboard, that the workstation that's here in the main recording. And this station right here behind me, this is my main recording station. Most people like to use Pro Tools, Cubase, Logic, GarageBand, or whatever. They like to use software-based DAW. I've always liked to use hardware because everything is internal inside, and you can do everything from one machine. This machine right here is a beast of a machine. I've been wanting one of these for years. I started out with the smallest version that they had. This is the Roland VS 2480, which is the flagship for this model. It has 24 tracks. You can record up to 16 at one time, and then in each track, you have additional 24 tracks. So you got over like 1,000 virtual tracks to choose from. But as for actual control and use, you have 24 tracks, so you can bounce everything down. And it has a lot of other stuff. It has a effects card in it, which has some awesome effect. The one effect that I would like to get, that I don't think I'll use it that much, but it's good to have. There's an auto-tune plug-in that was made for it, and I think there's a couple mastering effects or whatever. But it has, you can do everything from production all the way up to mastering. It has a mastering kit in it that allows you to do all the mastering on it. And this is what I like to use on my production. And that's just one. I actually have 2. My second one is right here. And the reason that I have it covered up, because it needs to be serviced. And it's quite heavy, so I'm probably not going to be able to hold it up. But anyway, this is what I like to use to record. And hopefully I can integrate this to where I can use the controls on it for Pro Tools, which I use Pro Tools now at the church, but I started out with Cubase. I used to use Cubase as for a software DAW. So, I mean, it's not a lot different. Pro Tools is the industry standard, just like Serato is the industry standard. But there you have a lot of other DAWs outside of that realm. The monitors that I use, I love Event monitors. Event is I don't know what company, what country are they from, but they're now bought out by Rode, RODE, that makes mics and other devices. So I've always liked the event monitors since they used to use them back in the 90s at Guitar Center as demo speakers, and the keyboard and audio section. They used to use these, and they have a nice flat sound. The bass, and they're powerful too, depending on which one you use. This one right here is the 2020 BAS, which is by amplified system. So each one has independent audio, and it's 200 watts a piece. 200 watts right there, 200 watts right there. Let me see what it is. 80, 60 for the tweeter, 180 for the sub, or something like that. It's 100 and something on one, and then double digits on the other. And then I got a whole bunch of bunch of stuff, and then I have probably not gonna be able to pull it out. I have other stuff in the way, but for my keyboard workstation, I have a Roland XP60, which my friend Kevin has one, and I fell in love since I saw his. Okay, nope, you can't see. All right, there we go. So I eventually got one, and I haven't really used it a whole lot. So now I'm gonna start getting to the point where I'm gonna start using this and everything else. And I got a whole bunch of other stuff, but that's not what we're gonna talk about today. We're just gonna shoot the breeze. So let me check and see what's going on. Who do we have here today? I think I see somebody, or is that just me? Okay, that's just me. All right. And I always record these, whether it's 100, 1,000, 1 million people that's watching. I always record your video as if somebody is live watching you when you start. So, and it's kind of hard to do that when you try to have Q&A, but you don't have opinions and comments to follow back. So what I'm gonna do right now, for a quick second, I sent this out to several different groups. I am about to check messages and see what questions and what comments that I have. See what you guys out there said about the post that I created. If you posted any questions, if you have any questions that you want answered, if you want to learn more about some of the stuff that I mentioned, like the new notice or the new news that just came out with Serato, I'll be mentioning that in a little bit. If you're, and I'm a person that I'm advanced with OBS, so especially for DJs. I mean, I'm not as good with it as for gamers, but on the DJ side, I analyzed it and figured out, okay, let's take this from the gamers, let's take this, this, and this, and use this in the DJ realm. So I took bits and pieces out of stuff that's used widely through OBS and find out, okay, what can the DJs use? So I became very knowledgeable in that. I have some people that contact me and, you know, that use my paid services just for that cause. And so I usually provide them not only what they want to know, but then I also share a lot more behind it. So let me see if I have any. Let me see if I have any questions. All right, let's see. All right. I think I have a question. Oh, this is one. No, this is somebody that was, I think they was commenting or they liked a reply that I had for a post. It's 11 o'clock. That I'm going to mention a while for New Year's Eve. And let's see. Okay, and I need to share this because I told some people that I was gonna be live. So let me open up my YouTube and check it out. Also, make sure that my sound and everything is working. Okay, why is my stream so slow? Open up my YouTube and check it out. Also, make sure that my sound and all right. All right, let's see. All right, let's see. So let's go ahead and jump into the news. Now, right before I started the podcast, when I was trying to create the post that you saw in a group for the show tonight, when I was trying to get my StreamYard to access, and I went into my email. Now, when I went into my email, I saw that I had a new email from Serato. I'm like, oh, it's a new email from Serato, and it said scratch sampler. I'm like, okay, what's this? So then I opened it up, and now this is the news for anybody that has a Rane 70 or a 72, either Mark 1 or Mark 2. Now, when the new Pioneer S11 came out, it had a feature on it that's called Scratch Sampler. And what it does, if I remember right, what it does, it puts your scratch sounds into a separate uh, sampler bank. If I'm correct about it, I mean I don't have the mixer, but I've seen it being used. But that's what it sounds like. It puts your scratch samples into a different bank to where you can access them from the pads, but differently than what you would with your basic sampler. Now, that was something that was released with the Pioneer S11 and the S11LE, which is the limited edition. Now they've released it for with Serato for Rane. So the Rane 70 series mixer now have this feature to where you can use the pads. And I knew it wasn't a little bit, it wasn't nothing more than programming or coding in order to do it. I guess actually I thought that Rane would have to do it, but since Serato does the programming, and it may be all MIDI code that they use in order for it to work, that Serato can do it to where it's support for um, Rane. Now the version is 2.3.4, I think that's what it is for that version, and then it's also for the Rane 11. Actually, that was oh yeah, that was from yesterday. All right, and this is what it says in the email that I got. Serato Scratch Bank is now supported on the Rane 70, 72, and 72 Mark II. Access up to 32 different samples or tracks at the push of a button for instant scratching or mixing. To access Scratch Bank, download Serato DJ Pro 2.4, 2.4.3, not 2.3, but 2.4.3. So this is the third version that they created for 4.0. And it says download 2.4.3 from Serato.com. 72 and 72 Mark II users would need to update their firmware to version 1.6. That update can be found on Rane.com. And that's it. It has the links to where you can download both Serato version 2.4.3 and the firmware version 1.6 for the Rane 70 and 72 Mark II. And that's it. It has a video showing how to use the Scratch Bank, which I haven't seen. I'll probably watch it a little bit later. But I kind of figured that it was going to be no more than for them to just be able to incorporate it into the 70 and 72, since it was a pad function. It's probably no more than having them to adjust and change the MIDI to have the MIDI control in order to set, in order for that to work correctly. All right. I didn't see any questions. I saw people that were people that people had responded to other stuff that I said. So that's it. That's number one. Number two is I was gonna just take questions about OBS. I had somebody that hit me up in instant message today that is first time OBS user, was trying to get stuff set up. He had a setup similar to what I would use, and that's using excuse me, using two different laptops. He has an i5, a Windows with a Intel i5, and he has a MacBook Pro, which is the same combination that I use, which what I would suggest. Using the MacBook Pro for music, using the Windows for streaming. The only other thing that he needs in order to connect the streaming computer to export audio into the stream is that he needs a cable. Basically, need the cable connection to connect from your controller or your mixer to your laptop for your stream. And in this situation, all he needed was an aux cable. And I don't have, I thought I had an aux cable. If you are any type of DJ, you should know what an aux cable is. No, that's not right. Aux cable has like a headphone tip, similar like this, stereo. It has a headphone tip on it. Zoom. Three port TRS, or three tips, three connections on it. And then on the other end, it has an RCA, which is excuse me. Didn't get enough rest today. The RCA has a red and a white, which you use for your audio. You connect this into your streaming laptop, and you make sure that it's set to line in and not mic. Make sure it's set to read at line in. You do all your connections with OBS and your sound panel there to make sure your sound is imported good. And then you connect the RCA from the other end into. Now, this is what I recommend. And this is why I recommend when you're connecting into your mixer or your controller, I always tell everybody connect it to the master. Don't connect it to the booth. Connect it to the master. Now, here's the reason that you want to connect it to your master. Let's go ahead and eliminate why not to connect it to the booth. Now, you can connect it to your booth, but you can't monitor your output signal from the booth. And usually, mostly, probably all booth or record out or whatever it is, whatever output, additional output that you have, doesn't have a way that you can monitor it. There's not a VU meter with LEDs that's going up and down that tells you your levels are too low or your levels are too high in the red. Now, that's why I suggest to using the master. The master has master LED VU meters. Now, by adjusting that to where you're not distorting over, you're saving yourself some time. Now, there is a method in OBS to where you can go into OBS and make your audio to where no matter how loud you turn it up on your mixer, you can you can turn your gains all the way up. You can boost all your EQs. You can even turn your master all the way to 6 or 5 or whatever the maximum is, and it will not distort. It will not distort. And here's how you do it. This is how you can do your settings and to be able to and let me open up. I'm gonna open up OBS. And I think I did this before. So I'm gonna open up OBS and show you how that works. All right, let me do a shared screen. All right, now you can't see me because I'm off screen. Let me make sure that I have my screen up. Okay, yep, there we go. So this is how you do it. Now, once you have your level set, you set your levels, you put your master on your mixer, your controller. Always set it at 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock is the maximum that you want to set it. Now, if at 12 o'clock your VU meters for the master is peaking, then you need to throttle back on your 12. It's best to have everything at 12 o'clock. Have your gains at 12, have your master at 12 if possible. Now, once you have your master set at 12, what you want to do, you want to monitor what your levels are in OBS. Right here, you see with me talking, I'm going into the red, but it's not staying constant into the red. When I hit certain uh, octaves, when I hit certain octaves, or if I talk real loud, then I can peek over into the red, but I'm not going over. So what I would do in this case, now I want it to where I'm in the yellow, but not as much in the red. So I would drag the bar for that level over. Making it a little bit larger. Oh, and OBS shut down on me. All right, let me see if I can get it back up. I need to do another shared screen. Hello, who we got there? Yo, what's up, Nathan? Give me just a second. I'm explaining something in OBS. The tip that I'm explaining right now is how you can I guess set your levels on your stream to where it doesn't peak. It'll never go over, no matter how you turn up your mixer, your faders, your gains, your master, anything from your source will not overdrive the signal in your stream. So that's what I'm explaining right now. And I was in OBS, but it shut down. I had to reopen it. So I'm going to explain it real quick, and then I'm gonna move along. Now, what you do once you got your levels on the mixer side or your controller side done, then you come into OBS. You drag your bar for your level, and I already have it locked. All right, now I have it locked. And so I need to unlock it. Which version? I'm using the older version. So with this older version, I might not be able to do it. And I think it only allowed me to do it on Windows. Okay, there we go. I forget I got to use different fingers with this MacBook. So now, the way I'm talking, I'm going into the red. If I do it like this, it's definitely going into the red and it's staying in the red. I don't want it right there. That's too much of a distortion. So I'm going back and I want it to kind of stay in the yellow. Even when I talk my loudest, right here is basically too low. So I want to move it up. I want to get it between here and here because this is too loud. Right here, still too loud. And so about round where negative 25 decibels, that sounds good. It's touching into the red, but it's not staying constant. So yeah, let me drop it to 30. Test. And the audio is recording from the mic on the MacBook. So I'm gonna leave it at 30. Now, I want it to stay at 30. So if I accidentally move this, if I accidentally move the wrong mixer control, then it changed that control. There is a way, and it, like I said, it may be just Windows only because I don't see it here. There should be a lock feature to where you can lock it, but it's not available on Mac. So right now I don't see it. But anyway, if you're on Windows, you can lock it. And let me see if it's in the advanced audio panel. No, it's not here either. But in Windows, it gives you the option to lock it. So what you would do here, you would go to the cog wheel for that particular channel, pull up a left screen or a sub menu screen, and right in here, there should be a lock and unlock. And so that's what you do. When you lock it, you can never move it. You have to go back into here and unlock it in order to do that. Now, when you lock it, no matter how loud you talk, it's gonna stay not constantly in the red. And you have to talk real loud. And then you can turn your gains up and your gains won't push past this point. Now, what does it save you from doing? It saves you from going into a filter. Let's see, okay, like right here, this scene. Okay, going into a filter and then going into your audio filters. And then what you could either add a compressor or you could add a limiter. And so those are probably the only two that you would want to use in that case. I mean, you could use the gain, but the limiter and compressor is what you want. And what you just did with the feature that I mentioned is like a limiter. It it stops at a certain point. So that was what I wanted to show with OBS. I mean, there's a lot of other tips, um, but that was just one. That was just one that I came up with that I mentioned somebody. All right, now AA, who are you? I don't know who you are. All right, let's get to Nathan's question. All right, Nathan, go ahead and shoot me your question. So I'm gonna wait for him. to shoot me his questions so I can go ahead and post up an answer. All right, so that right there was number two. That was with OBS. Now, there's a lot of plugins that I found, and every time I go through the plugins, I go through all of them. I go through all maybe 8 to 10 pages full of plugins. I probably won't. I don't go through all of them and actually try them. I go through all of them and view them to see if there's anything in those programs that will allow me to use in this purpose, where I'm not using everything and then I don't have space. So let's see. Guess I'm just waiting on your question. OBS also has another feature that I've limited and mentioned it to a few people. I haven't actually tested it myself to see that it does reply like that. Now, also to let a lot of y'all know, and what's the time? The time right now is 11:30, and yeah, in exactly 33 minutes, I will be celebrating a birthday. I will be turning 49. So my birthday is December 9th. If you want to drop anything, let me go ahead. I'm going to put my Cash App here. I don't usually do this, but I'm just going to see where it goes. So I'm going to put my Cash App here. And I guess that's right. I always have to check it because I don't use it a whole lot. I mean, I get payments and stuff. Yeah, that's right. All right, so that's my Cash App right there. If you want to drop something for the birthday board, then go ahead. But it's not necessary. Just gonna see who's courteous and who's nice enough to do that. But I'm still waiting for your question, man. Where's your question now? I don't know whether you dropped off or got off or whatever, but I'm waiting on your questions so I can go ahead and answer. Like I said, there's another app that I found recently that I shared it with about 4 or 5 different uh, 4 or 5 different other people, other DJs, students, um, so forth. So one of the effects that I found is it's called Now Playing. It's an actual Serato plugin, and what it does, what it does, it adds a now playing of your playlist to your sets. But then the thing is, if you're using it, it actually shows. So now the thing that you may want to do, I don't know what I'm getting tired of with. I guess it's with old age due to you. Let's go back and see if he asked a question. Nope. Nathan, I'm still waiting for you to ask the question. If you want to go ahead and ask it. And there was a third thing that I mentioned, but I don't. I see it. And what was the last thing I said? Um, freestyle run. Uh, let's see. Has that question? No, that was an email. So I'm not going to keep this. This is not going to be a long podcast. It was just I just getting on tonight. Wanted to try. I have a different camera set up. I have a Sony camcorder that I'm using the HDMI out on it, and I'm using a video capture stick that I bought, and I should have got two, but I'm using a video capture stick that I bought that streams from the camcorder to the computer, and then I have other camcorders that I can use. Now I need to get more cables. Need to check to see if they still have those. So that was about it. Just saw somebody just popped up. Do you have any questions? Because I basically talked about, the only other thing I didn't talk about that I had mentioned in the post is New Year's Eve. And that's what I was waiting for other people in that particular group to join in and talk about. Now, there's a post that's going on in Atlanta DJ Zone where there was a DJ. He asked, um, "What are the rates?" or something about the rates to the fact about how much should he charge for a New Year's Eve event. Now, New Year New Year's Eve events are where you can probably make the most money because the time that you're DJing is very valuable. It's it's the changing over. You're leaving an old year, you're going to a new year, and especially with a year like this one, people will probably be really excited to move into 2021 because we've been having so much bad stuff to happen this year that it's time to move to the next year and start with a clean slate. So even though we have a pandemic going on and a lot of states are being shut down, like California at this time right now is on lockdown. I think New York is behind. Georgia should be soon. But I mean, the governor that we have, it probably won't happen because he was the first one that initiated to open back up the state, which was still too soon. The death rate and people that are contracted COVID and that have been sick or whatever, the numbers, all the numbers are still going up, and it's still going up. So um, now the talk was about New Year's Eve. The New Year's Eve, how much should a person charge? Now, with that event, most venues and clubs, promoters or whatever, they're going to charge about $50 or someplace even more just to get inside. Everybody wants to be at an event. It may not be the point this year where New Year's Eve is done in reality from the event. I think now it's going to be more. This year, it's going to be a lot of Skyping of New Year or Facebook Live or Instagram. Well, not Instagram, but Twitch, YouTube. It's going to be more live streaming from DJs doing DJ party. And even though that these streams may be personal, some people may get a call for a DJ to stream for New Year's, depending on what he played. If he played a lot of selection that that person wanted to hear, they may keep him as a DJ for future events. But other than that, just for those few minutes or seconds or whatever that time is for them to go from where they are, which can be an actual base with planes and stuff, and then transition all the way to their village or whatever, and what they were doing, when everybody else was working, and then also putting them into place where the people that is sitting near them is now starting to look into them because they don't want to take the chance of switching over presidential campaign candidates in the middle of a term that they can serve. So I keep jumping from the question. New Year's Eve, how much to get paid? Um, some people were saying 1,000. I think I saw 1,000 was good, but usually you want to get a lot more than that because you're taking away your time to celebrate New Year's how you may celebrate it without a DJ or whatever. So you're giving up enough to where you're getting what is being offered, if that makes sense. I hope it does. So right now, $2,000 wedding, and this is for, well, not a wedding, but a New Year's event. And I think the event that he mentioned was and what you're picking up is that you may have a 100-foot cord or voluntary, and the grown man um, may want a whole lot more. So I guess that's about it. I'm still here streaming. Nathan hasn't showed up to ask me that question. He may end up asking me later in inbox. But let me check one more time for any other questions or comments or whatever. I need to refresh the page. Oh. So right now, it's after I finish this, it's a debate of um, finishing, trying to finish up here in the studio. I pretty much got most of the stuff done over on this side. I just need to clean the computer up a little bit because it's quite full. I need to take some like stuff like Photoshop. I don't need to use Photoshop on this one. I want to use Photoshop over on this side. So on this side, CD production, CD duplication, video editing, um, mastering, everything that on the video side that I don't do over on this side that I could do. So I have more equipment on this side. All right, so yeah, that's it. Check out, see what I sound like. Check it out. Also, make sure that my sound. Okay, my sound is a little bit louder than what I thought it was. But we good for New Year's Eve. You can go. I mean, 1,000 for something as big as a New Year's Eve event. That may be a little bit low because club owners are going to be charging $50 at the door. Everything goes up in value. It goes up. So why not have the DJ to charge more to make more money? And you're gonna do more for your mix because you're getting better services. So that's what I would say stick to that. And yeah. So New Year's Eve charge more. You can get for 1,000 for a 2 hour party. Yeah, you can get 2,000. Think about if it's a mobile event, if it's not a club, then you got to bring all your gear. You have to set it up. So then you set it up, and then you find out that you only have an hour to to use everything to set up. So that's probably what you're going to have to use. You're going to have to use that potential time, that hour, to where it's not an hour for this, and then you wait an hour for this other part, and the other part is that where you're getting all the services. So that's what I would say to do in that case. So I don't know what's going on. Like I say, I got a few more minutes. 15 minutes, and I will be reaching another year in the milestone of my life. So I don't know. I didn't get a lot of sleep today. So I guess my body is starting giving out, and I need to get to bed. And actually, I'm dressed for bed. I went ahead and got my shower to get comfortable before I started the show. So right now, I'm dressed to go to bed. I'll probably go to bed, watch a movie or whatever, something to get me to sleep. Battery low. Oh, hold on. I got to plug the camera up. Expect this to happen. All right. Where am I going to plug into? Actually, just be a USB. All right, I'm back. Didn't expect the battery to go out that quick, but that's about it. Tonight, I wanted to just shoot the breeze with anybody that wanted to just sit and talk tech or whatever. So that's about it. Hour, 10 minutes in. We're going to wrap up. Thank y'all for tuning in, whoever's checking this video out. Hope there's a tip or trick somewhere that I mentioned that will help you out to help you get whatever it is that you're trying to get done. And the only thing that I mentioned was the one from OBS to where you're doing a simple limiter is what I would call it. So I'm about to sign out. I got 15 more minutes. Then it's time to celebrate 49, number 49. Like I said, my Cash App's right there. You want to drop something to me for my birthday or whatever, I will definitely will appreciate it. And I give you a shout out and a thanks when I receive it. So make sure that you leave your name, especially if it's something different than what's on your social media, so I can hit you back and say, thanks or whatever. But anyway, I'm about to sign out. My voice is starting to go out. I didn't bring my drink because of the technical difficulties that I had. So I'm about to sign out. I will talk to y'all later. If you need me, you can hit me up. Make sure also that you like, share, and subscribe this channel, this YouTube, excuse me, this YouTube channel, so you will get notified next time that I'm doing a live stream or whatever. I have a lot of backlog videos from that I recorded in Facebook and YouTube, and I think mostly Facebook, from another application that I'm gonna go through and edit and then have those posted onto Facebook. So you may see a collage of videos and you'd be like, okay, what Tuesday did he do this? When did he do this? These are old videos that I did that didn't save to YouTube. So I'm gonna add them on to my YouTube channel after I've done some editing. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe for that. You can find me on Facebook at the kid DA.
Just a sec.
You can find me at the kid. I don't know what the hell that was. Okay, there's nothing else playing. That was odd. Anyway, you can find me at the kid, DA_KYDD. That's my name. That's my personal page. Kenyon Ellis, KENYONELLIS is how you can find me on Facebook. I have a Twitter and Instagram account, but I know I'm gonna mess up the login names. It's probably DAKYDD07, or it may be 007. DAKYDD 007. It's gonna be either one of those, and one of them may be the kid. I don't know. I don't remember all my social media, especially those, because I don't use those that much. So um, if you need to add me to any other social media, ask me and I'll send it to you. But I don't remember them. I don't ever remember them straight off. But anyway, I'm about to sign off. I will catch y'all later. Y'all make sure y'all take care out there. Mask up, 6 feet distancing, social distancing, and y'all stay safe. I'll catch y'all next week. I'm out. Peace.